Waiting for the stream to start, and it's going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, 0, 1.5, 0. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. We're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. Talk cruising together. Thank you for being here. Let's start with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Put your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I've got just a couple of weeks left until my next Royal Caribbean cruise, January 1st. So let's see, today's the 4th. So 20 something odd days until I get to go back on a cruise ship. It'll be my first cruise of 2024. I have no cruises this month, believe it or not. But I'm kind of excited. A lot of things happening in the on the family side this month, and more importantly, it's nice to take a little bit of a break, holidays and whatnot. Somebody's birthday. I'm not going to mention any names, but some things happening this month for sure. Welcome, one and all. Glad to have you here. Let's answer some Royal Caribbean questions, starting with some super chats we had before the broadcast began. Deputy Get Some, thank you for the super chat. Deputy Get Some wrote, I'm booked with internet, ultimate dining, and ultimate beverage package for me and my wife. If we do a royal bid for a star class suite and win the upgrade, could I cancel our internet, dining, and beverage package because those perks come with a star class suite? The answer is yes, as long as you have, 72 hours before your sail date, you can cancel those things. I mean, worst case scenario, you get on board the ship and ask for the cancellation. But I suspect if you won a star class bid, it would come in before then. Call me crazy, but I think that's more likely to occur. So if that was the case, then yes, you'd be able to. Chris Bergeloff, thank you for the super chat. Chris has two questions. According to the most recently published cruise compass, gangway open is 8:30 a.m. and all aboard is 7:30 p.m. Will we have time before the excursion to explore Magens Bay on our own? It depends. I don't know what time your tour begins and ends. So that depends on your tour. I can't give you specific information on that. Chris also wants to know, can you use your SeaPass card at the casino on board, or do I need to bring cash? You should bring cash. You can use your SeaPass card to charge, get a cash advance, but they will charge you a fee for that, 5% for doing so. So if at all possible, bring your own cash. Rolando Watson, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Matt. Merry Christmas to you and your family. 32 days till Odyssey. How do I unlink someone from my account because we're not a group anymore? I think the only way you can unlink somebody is to call, you have your travel agent do it or call Royal Caribbean and ask them to do exactly that. Same process for linking of the reservation. I got to imagine it's essentially the same process for that. So hope that makes sense. Tony Crawford, thank you for, wait a minute. Hold on, Tony. We'll get to you in a second. I missed somebody. Didn't I miss, oh no, never mind. Brian Kelly, I didn't miss yours. Brian Kelly, thank you for the super chat. 54 days till inaugural back-to-back icon. Also, booking inaugural Star of the Seas tomorrow. Yes, exciting. I will be booking it as well for sure. All right, now, Tony, it is your chance. Tony Crawford, thank you for the super chat. 6 days till Wonder, 50th birthday, 13th wedding anniversary. It's crazy to think this is the excitement Matt feels each month. Awesome, dude. I'm actually no cruises in December for the Matster, believe it or not. I know it's crazy, but here I am. Glad to have you here. AD, thank you for renewing your platinum membership in the Royal Caribbean Blog Club. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. AD says, I know 7 days till solo on Liberty. Christmas gift for my loving wife. What? I'm a lucky and grateful man. Dude, solo on a cruise going in a week? Talk about an awesome gift. That is fantastic. Cletus, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Hey, Matt, we're jumping on Symphony in 12 days. We purchased the dining package. Should we worry about not getting the dining options we want? No, as long as you work, you do everything you need to do on day one, Cletus. I think you know this already, but the key to the dining package is get on board the ship, make your reservations on day one. If you do that, you're almost certainly going to get something somewhere. Maybe it's not exactly the same time of day you originally wanted, but more often than not, that will come through. So I think, Cletus, if you do that, you'll be fine. The issue you could have is if you don't do that and you wait and day 6 rolls around and they're like, hey, I want to book some more dining, that could be a problem, potentially. Let's see here. Next question. Oh, some more super chats coming in. Miller Time, thank you for the super chat. I'm currently sitting with my mom, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Watching and trying to convince her to take her first cruise with us this year. Please help me convince her it's the best way to vacation and pull the trigger. Lynn, I got to tell you this. Here's how it works. Now, I don't know if Miller Time is a man or a woman, so I'm just going to say your child that would like to cruise with you. Here's the thing. If you go on a typical land vacation, you have this thing where you're going to be with that person all the time, every part of the day, because that's how it works, right? If you go to New York City, you'd be touring the city together and be throughout the whole day. As a parent, I get that. We don't love our kids that much to want to spend every minute of the day with them. We want to spend time with them, but not that much time with them. That's what a cruise is so great about. You can do your thing, they can do their thing. You can do some things together, right? Have a dinner, see a show, but there's also built-in time to be apart. And that's the best part about cruising. So you should absolutely give it a try. Let's see here. Matthew Gatlin. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Here it is. Matthew is on Wonder of the Seas Mason Jar Bar. So jealous. Have a peanut butter and jelly old fashioned for me, friend. That is fantastic. E-Dubs, is there anything you would recommend for excursions to Costa Maya? Maya Chan. Not the Royal Caribbean. Google it. Maya Chan is the way to go. La Mecca, is the key worth it for 2 adults and a 5-year-old? No, the 5-year-old doesn't need it. The 5-year-old, you have to be at least 6, I think, to get it anyway. But at La Mecca, I've talked about this in the past here on this broadcast and in many live streams and produced videos. The key isn't worth it. The benefits sound better than they are. Save your money. Don't get it. Let's see here. Kendall, we're 1 point from Diamond. In your experience, what are the shortest, most inexpensive cruises we can get to that last point? 3-night cruises usually. Sometimes like a 4-nighter that begins on a Monday can actually be cheaper because a lot of people don't want to begin a cruise on a Monday, end on a Friday, because if you're going to take off the entire week anyway from work, you might as well get the full 7-day cruise experience, if that makes sense. Jason Achilles. Jason, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Matt. Kind of freaking out. I had a downgrade to a guarantee out of Sydney, then heard about Brisbane, 90 days to ovation. Jason, in my 13 years of doing RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, that is the first time I've ever heard of something like that happening. That is the very definition of an outlier. So I hope you'll be perfectly fine. I know in Australia, the rules are different and weird for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of all the spiders you guys got down there. But again, there's no pattern yet. This is very much the definition of an outlier. So next question is from Nicholas. I would only use the refreshment package. Do I have to buy the full beverage package if both people in my cabin would only use the refreshment package? No, that rule only applies for the alcohol package. Good question. Danette is back from Liberty this season. Had an awesome time. So glad to hear that. Josh Perry, thank you for the super chat. February 25th is my next cruise on Anthem. It's my birthcation. We booked Coco Key to celebrate my birthday. What an awesome thing to do. I mean, I'm not sure. You say you booked Coco Key. I assume maybe you mean the beach club. But that is a great way to celebrate, my friend. So happy early birthday to you. That sounds fantastic. Misty, I see a lot of comments about bringing cash reports and such, but it can be kind of scary having too much cash. How much do you recommend carrying? Ooh, that's a great question. When I go on port, to any port or call, other than like Coco Key or Labadee, because you don't really need cash there, I would probably bring $200 in cash and a credit card. That way I have enough money for taxis. I have enough money for maybe a small meal or some tips here and there, small souvenir. But the credit card is there as backup in case like you get stuck somewhere and you need to get out of Dodge and you got that. Or maybe you want to buy something, like a bigger gift or something like that. But $100 to $200 in cash is certainly all you need on shore. Beyond that, I just don't think it's necessary. I mean, a credit card is the way to go. It's safer that way. I mean, if you lose a credit card, you're not responsible for the charges. If you lose your cash, you are. So, good question. Next question is from DNS. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Matt. Just off Allure and 202 days till Wonder. Can you explain the 3-night specialty dining and how Izumi Sushi Hibachi works? 3-night package, you get 3 meals on board. You can't make a reservation until you get on board the ship. Once on board, you make 3 reservations. Pretty simple as that. In terms of the sushi hibachi, if you go to the sushi side, you get a stipend. I think it's $39.99 now. Everybody gets a stipend of that. If you spend over that, you're responsible for that money. And then for hibachi, you'll pay a slight surcharge to dine there if you have a dining package. And they'll charge it for you at the time. Regardless of which one you're booking, you can book it once on board the ship to get those reservations. My other suggestion to you, DNS, is for Izumi Sushi. Don't get the fixed price menu. Just ask to pay a la carte. Next question. Dave, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Matt, we're on Liberty this season 7 days. What are your 2 favorite restaurants in Port Everglades area? I just went to it's actually not my favorite restaurant, but I went to La Bamba, which is one of our moderators, Love to Cruise 2002 on the message boards. She loves that restaurant, La Bamba. It's a Mexican restaurant. Good traditional Tex-Mex, really good. The other one, what would be another restaurant I'd recommend in Fort Lauderdale? When I go down to Fort Lauderdale, Dave, depends who I'm with. If I'm solo, I'll probably go meet up with my good friend Billy from cruisehabit.com and we'll go have Indian food. If I'm there with my family, we'll probably get something a little. My family does not love Indian food nearly as much as I do. We usually order in a lot of times, like Uber Eats. Depends when we get there, things like that. But La Bamba is one restaurant that I can recommend to you that I just went there the other day, and it was still very good. Chadwick, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Explorer of the Seas. Family had a great time. For all your viewers who wonder what to do in Falmouth, Good Hope Escape Pass, fun for all. There you go. Thank you, Chadwick, for the recommendation. Digital Doug, does anyone in the chat know when Star of the Seas bookings will open? We don't know. It could happen at midnight tonight. It could happen at 2 a.m. It could happen in an hour. When Royal Caribbean puts a new ship out there, what usually happens is it goes out in piecemeal. Like, it's not a flip of a switch and every single sailing, every single cabin is open. What you usually start seeing are some sailings popping up, and some availability. Like, when the first ones come out there, it's probably going to be for a handful of cruises and only some cabins. And if you wait a little bit longer, more show up. So it's kind of a weird game. You kind of have to play that, like, you want to get there early and literally get one of the first bookings, but you also don't want to book a cabin you don't really want or a sailing you don't want because the other one hasn't showed up yet. Brad Wheeler, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, going on Harmony in 13 days. What beach would you recommend in Roatan? Little French Key. Google that. Any of the beaches over there are absolutely fantastic. Luann has an app question. When you book an excursion, does it automatically show up on the calendar or you have to put it yourself? If you book a Royal Caribbean excursion, it should show up there. If you're not seeing it yet in the app, that's fine. I don't even check the app, Luann, until I get on board the ship. Once you're on board, then it'll be over there, I'm sure. Chris, thank you for the super chat, my friend. 62 days till Wonder of the Seas. 2 p.m. is the excursion. I think this is going back. You're the same Chris from earlier, right? Yes, you are. So yeah, you'll have enough time to do something. 2 p.m. is pretty late. You could easily get off the ship, do some stuff, and come on back. So that should be fine. Thank you again for your generosity, my friend. Purple Queen from New York City, hello and welcome. Shane Delisle, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, I booked an Icon of the Season, the inaugural sailing January 27th. Me too. My first inaugural, I'm a little worried that Royal Caribbean won't have everything running smoothly or things will be unorganized. I would say this, Shane. I'm going to be real with you. I don't have any concerns things will be unorganized. I don't have any problem about that. I don't have any concerns about that per se. But everything running smoothly, this is the reality of an inaugural sailing. When we were on the Wonder of the Seas inaugural sailing, some of the shows weren't available. The escape room wasn't available. Some of the entertainment may not be there. This can happen. There could be work still being done on the ship. So it's kind of the pros and cons of doing an inaugural sailing. On the one hand, you're going to be there, my friend. You're going to be on the first sailing. It's a huge party, a lot of energy. There's nothing like it. But you got to understand this is the reality of what an inaugural sailing is like. Try to turn my fan on because it's getting really warm in here. That could happen. I cannot tell you here, Shane, oh, don't worry, everything will be fine. You'll still have a good time, but there may not be exactly 100% of everything that you've seen there. So yeah, I'm just being real with you. Brian Kelly, thank you for the super chat. Thinking of doing Paradise Beach in Cozumel in January. Do you know if the pool is heated? Yes, it is, 100%. I don't know if it's the only heated pool in Cozumel, but it's one of the few if there are any others. Nachi's pool is not heated, as an example, and that's why I love the pool at Paradise Beach. Deanna, first cruise for you. When does Royal Caribbean release the entertainment schedule? Right around 30 days. So you're about 2 days and some change away. Keep checking back. Assuming Deanna, you're on an Oasis or a Quantum class ship. Otherwise, you don't need to reserve it ahead of time, and you won't see the schedule until maybe a day or two ahead of time in the Royal Caribbean app. DG, what's up, DG? Thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, but thank you for your generosity. DG's going on Harmony of the Seas the 24th. Awesome. Fantastic. Nathan, has there been any further chatter about a Royal Caribbean Celebrity Loyalty Program merger? No, beyond that, like one thing that came out, I don't even remember where it was earlier this year. Nope, nothing else remotely resembling chatter, I would say. And a lot of things with Royal Caribbean, Nathan, when they're ready to announce something, they'll announce it. They don't usually like give progress updates unless it's like building of a new ship kind of thing. Next question. Misty, can you do a video tour of Jewel of the Seas? Angie, will put that on her list to do that. Absolutely. We'd like to get every single ship. Next question is from Rai Copy Guy. Thank you for the super chat. Going on Anthem of the Seas Transatlantic in April. Questions below. What are some must-do onboard events during a transatlantic? Take a nap, honestly, is one of the big things. But the progressive trivia is the big event. I mean, really, there's not much difference between a transatlantic and a regular sailing, other than the length, of course, and the destination, etc. But the progressive trivia is probably the event to go do. Instead of doing one trivia, that's a one-off and like you have it today and that's it. On transatlantics, they'll have progressive ones that you get a cumulative score across the entire sailing. So that would be the one to do right there. D-Man recommends Zuccarello's in Fort Lauderdale. I never even heard of that one, but thank you for the recommendation. Nick, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. Hey, Matt, really appreciate the cruise compasses on your website. Thank you. You're welcome. Can you have a specialty restaurant lunch in your stateroom for Star Class? You can, yes. Ask your genie for it. They can absolutely make that happen, 100%. Motorcycle Views is on board the Symphony of the Seas on the way to Aruba. Can my wife bring a bottle of wine that we brought on board with us to Chops? Yes, absolutely. Next question. Melissa's going on Oasis of the Seas on Sunday for your honeymoon. Mazel tov, congratulations. What's the most romantic thing to do? Well, one thing I can think of I can't talk about on YouTube because it's inappropriate. The next thing I would recommend doing, romantic. Oh, go have dinner in Central Park. There's 3 great restaurants, but I was gonna say either Chops or Giovanni's because they're right in Central Park and they have outdoor seating, which is really nice. But 150 Central Park, I love that menu, but it's not outdoors. But it's more intimate. 150 Central Park, have dinner over there. It's really intimate. Ask for those 2 chairs that are really big and look like Dr. Evil chairs, but they're encompassing and they face each other. I think it's a very nice thing to do. The other thing to do, one more idea, if money's not an object for you, Melissa, is to do a studio sitting. So, there's photographers all around the ship and they can take your photos. But there's a studio on board, a photography studio. I believe it's in Central Park. You can check once you get on board the ship. And they can do a photo shoot with just you and your soon-to-be husband or already husband, fiance, whatever. And that can be a really great idea. Next question is from Scary. Scary, thank you, my friend, for your super chat. Hey, Matt, getting stoked for Icon. Crazy question. Any idea what, if any, differences there will be from Icon to Star? Too early to know, but Scary, if I had to guess, it'd be the same answer as like the differences between the Oasis class ships. Dining, entertainment, artwork. Probably the 3 things that will be different. There'll be different shows, different art, and maybe some different restaurants on board. Let's see here. T. Higgs, going back to the Wonder of the Seas example I gave earlier about change there. Wonder was released right after COVID, and there was huge supply chains problems in the world. This is true, but it very well could be the case anyway. I just think that there's a lot of moving parts, and this is. I would just say this: if you're going on any inaugural sailing, you should expect not 100% of everything to be ready. So, DG, I appreciate you being here. Welcome. Cody says, do you understand that your very voice means vacation? That's a very nice compliment. Jennifer Keln from MEI Travel is here. Happy Monday. Happy Monday? Yes. Yes. Welcome, Jennifer. Good to see you here. Lisa Hayes, thank you for the super chat. I'm going on Liberty of the Seas January 8th. Is there a place to watch the college championship football game on January 8th? Yeah, there's probably going to be at least a couple places on board. There is the On Air Club on Liberty still, I believe, which is down on deck 4. That's like probably the number one place I would go to. The pub might have the game as well. They don't have a full Liberty does not have a sports bar like Freedom and Independence do, but there's still bars with televisions on there. So probably going to be, that would probably be the place to go. What is the best excursion in the Eastern Caribbean? Anything that goes to St. John is absolutely fantastic. Next question from Ronnie Bickers Jr. Ronnie says, she got off the 3-night Liberty last week for solo cruise. Fun time. I know that they have the kids sail free deals a lot. What about third and fourth passenger deals? I think they run that in tandem anyway, Ronnie. If I'm not mistaken, like as an example, let's go right now. They don't advertise it as much, but I believe in the fine print. I might be making this up. Maybe I'm like delusional here. But they've been doing kids sail free for a long time. They used to like alternate, and I don't think they do that anymore. They just kids sail free forever. Maybe not. Maybe I 30% of every guest. Yeah. So they're still doing 30% off every guest on new book right now for new bookings between November 1st and December 4th, 2023. So they have kids sail free and 30% off every guest, which would apply to third and fourth passengers as well. So there you go. Wish granted. Next question from Russell. Will other Icon class ships be more expensive than the current Icon of the Seas prices when the new Icon class ships come out in the future? Probably. It's a little too early to know, and your question is a little too vague to answer specifically, because obviously every sailing is different, but generally speaking, the newer ship prices come out, and we see higher prices for that. So I would expect that generally to be the case. Our website is RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. You can find the link below the video in the description. Misty's going on Mariner next October. If it doesn't show Izumi, James, or Chops for lunch, now does it mean they won't be available on embarkation day? You might be also too far away, Misty. You're talking about a cruise in like 11 months from now, right? 10 months from now. It's not entirely impossible that it's too far out. So keep checking back a little bit closer. I think we have some more super chats coming here. Miller Time again with a super chat. Adventure or Anthem or Allure of the Season 5 days. Heard chair hogs are out in full effect. Nothing really new there. Any app or people to follow who post about sea conditions like James Van Fleet used to do. Royal Caribbean's new chief meteorologist, Craig Setzer, does post, not nearly as frequently as Mr. Van Fleet used to do, but he does post things on there from time to time, primarily to annoy Smokey Bandit, but also for the benefit of everybody else. Anyway, you can find his... maybe Tom, can you post the link to his Twitter? The chief meteorologist, not yours. We don't need yours, but to Craig's account there. That's basically who I would follow. And James Van Fleet, by the way, still tweets a lot about cruising, so keep that in mind for sure. Next question is from Justin Durant. Justin, thank you for the super chat. Love the channel. 59 Days Till Brilliance. First international trip, also first cruise in solo, and your recommendations or reviews. Wait, whoa, time out. Your first cruise ever, and you're going to Australia, and you're going solo? Holy smokes. It's funny, Justin, you have a cruise in 59 days, so I will post, it won't be tomorrow, I don't think, but Jenna, one of she's our YouTube editor here, and also part-time writer, she wrote an article about this exact cruise going on Brilliance out of Australia, and I think she might have been solo on that one. I don't remember. Anyway, that would be an article to keep an eye out for on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Justin, it'll be definitely out before you go on your cruise. I just don't know if it'll be out I don't think it'll be out tomorrow, maybe sometime later this week. So keep an eye out for that. That is going to be the best information for you, without a doubt. Hey, Janelle, welcome. Deanna, who do I tell the staff to split a bed? Your stateroom attendant. Any must-dos for Adventure of the Seas? I think do Izumi on the promenade because it's the only ship that has Izumi on the promenade for now. And then go to the helipad. It's a great sail away spot. Did Royal Caribbean announce the car that is on Icon? They did not. Shane, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Hope to see you on Icon January 27th. Any excursions you would recommend in St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Thomas? St. Thomas, I would take any tour that goes to St. John. We're booked on one of those for that cruise. So anything that brings you to the beach in St. John is worth it. For St. Kitts, it's another beach day. We've taken the train tour over there. We've taken the bus tour around the island as well. It kind of depends, but I think generally speaking, the beach is the place to go. The nice thing about the train tour and the bus tour is that it's a really pretty island, and it's nice to be able to kind of go circumvent it or not circumvent it, go around the island and enjoy the views over there. Any first-time cruiser tips? Yeah, book with the travel agent. I mean, I always use MEI Travel personally. MEI. Honestly and truly, if it's your first cruise or you've done it 100 times, you should book with a travel agent, a good travel agent who can make it a lot easier for you. Janice just got off Independence of the Seas. Indy's a great ship. Fantastic. Marina just booked New Year's group cruise with Jen from MEI Travel. Awesome. What fun things are we doing? To be determined. When we get closer to the sail date, we'll have a schedule of events, but there'll be something happening almost every day, if not every day, of the cruise marina. So keep an eye out for that. I'm looking forward to sailing with you. When is the next episode of the podcast coming out? I know we've been out on a podcast in like 3 weeks. I'm sorry. I've been cruising too much. Tony Diaz told me I need to do more cruises, and so I didn't want to let Tony down. Anyway, I already recorded this week's podcast episode. Jets fan. It's coming out this week. How about that? Josh Carruthers from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Josh. Good to see you. And Whipple. And thank you for the super chat. 154 days till Mariner. What are your favorite things to do on Mariner? Eat. I love the restaurants on there. I love Playmakers. I love Izumi. Of course, the helipad is a fantastic vantage point. The get a drink at the bamboo room is wonderful as well. Russell, will the water slides on Icon be different compared to the water slides on Oasis? Yes. Icon has a water park. Oasis has 3 slides. There are 6 slides on Icon, and they're different slides than on Oasis. So, yeah, it's going to be significantly different. And it's included, in case you're wondering. Roy, thank you for the super chat, my friend. When you use Brightline train from Orlando to Miami, you still go down a day early. Yes. You never know. I mean, listen, there still could be delays. When I took the train from Fort Lauderdale back to Orlando after my first celebrity cruise, there was an issue with the bridge, and we got stuck for 2 hours. So there still could be delays. And just, you don't want to chance it. You don't want to have anything like a bridge being stuck getting in your way. So yes, I would still go down at least a day early, Roy. Absolutely. Rastafari Ann, thank you for the super chat. Do I see any questions from you? Circumnavigate. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Yes, indeed. Well, Rastafari Ann, thank you for the super chat. Danielle wants to know, what is the key and is it worth it? It's not worth it. It's just, the benefits sound better than they are. Just ignore it. But I would say this, Danielle, and I have a video about why you shouldn't book the key here on our channel. So watch that video next to get a better, more in-depth. Basically, the benefits sound better than they are. But to that point, you still need to do a little bit of work on your end to get some of those similar benefits on your own. So, do the online check-in exactly 45 days beforehand. Make sure you book your shows in advance. You're on Mariner, so you can't book your shows in advance. Something to do over there. And in general, for first-timer tips, download the Royal Caribbean app, get it installed on your phone. It's too late now, but you should have been booked with a good travel agent. Maybe for next time, that's a good one to use. And then research your ports. Pre-book and research. So if you want to buy a drink package, a dining package, or book any specialty dining, the spa, book it in advance. You'll save money that way. And then research your shore excursions and book all your tours before the cruise. Next question is from Brandon Stetzel or Stelzel. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. Odyssey in 33 days. I booked a guarantee room a year ago, but still no room number yet. Should I be worried? No, you're still a year out. Well, in 33 days. Man, I can't read. I wouldn't be worried. No, just keep an eye on it. It's going to show up there eventually. So I would not worry about it too much. I think that it, I can't handicap it. I can't give you like, this many days ahead of time. But no, I wouldn't worry about it. I remember my good friend Josh Carruthers here he had to wait till the last minute for one of his guarantee room cabins. So yeah. Do we know the start of the season inaugural sale date yet? We do not. I will say I heard a date. Somebody claims to have the date. I don't know if it's true. I'll tell UT Higgs because I think, and again, this may not be the date, but I'm just putting it out there because I heard it was the date. For what it's worth, it could, possibly, unknown, unconfirmed, rumor, take it as you will. Don't blame the messenger. Blame Tony Diaz. August 17th, 2025. But unconfirmed rumor. Next question is from Russell wants to know, why is the Teen Club on Icon not on the same area of the ship as the Oasis class? Because it's a different class, different layout, different ship design altogether. Do you have any videos on Cozumel or Georgetown? I believe we did a video many years ago, Stacy, about Cozumel, and the information doesn't really change there. We don't have one about Grand Cayman, but we do have one about Cozumel. I gotta be honest with you guys, we don't do videos about ports of call like Cozumel or in Grand Cayman because nobody watches those videos. They just don't do well. So, which is unfortunate. Beachy Mama, I'm excited about the Icon. They seem to have made some really interesting changes. I agree. Especially intrigued by the dome. Can't wait to see the various stages of it throughout the course of a day. I agree. Listen, new class of ship. You get used to Wonder of the Seas and Odyssey of the Seas. Hooray! And they're exciting for different reasons, but they're the, fifth, sixth ship in a class. This is going to be the first ship in the class. And this makes such a big difference. So I agree with you, Beachy Mama. And I agree with you also that Tony Diaz should book the Icon of the Seas group cruise. Next question is from Robert. Just got off the Wonder of the Seas, great ship. But do you know where we could have gotten food other than pizza after 9 p.m.? Unfortunately, there's only one other option you had, which was room service. I wish Royal Caribbean had more choices, but it's really just room service, which stinks. Hobbs TV, thank you for the super chat. Just got off Anthem of the Seas, had a Sky class suite, and it was great. Only bad thing, in my opinion, was the mattress and the pillows. Worst I've ever slept on. 180 days to the Royal Loft on Symphony Stoked. You see, first of all, thank you for the super chat. I would say I really enjoy a firm mattress. I was having a conversation with Allie, who's one of our writers here at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com and on our sister site, Cruise.blog. And we were talking we like a firm mattress. That is I enjoy Royal Caribbean's mattresses and celebrities for that matter. But I understand some people don't like it. And I think they purposely, I think this was Allie's idea, so I don't want to pretend this is my notion, but I think they purposely pick firm mattresses because over time, mattresses tend to do what? They tend to sag and get soft. So better start off with a firm one than start with a soft one and then get really soft and, mushy, so to speak. But you're not the first person that's ever said that they didn't like the mattress and the pillows. Doesn't bother me personally, but mattresses are so subjective, right? Anyway, 180, so the loft, Royal Loft, dude, the Royal Loft, you'll sleep like a baby on that cruise for sure. Next question is from SB. When does Royal Caribbean offer the best time for a drink package sale? Doesn't matter. Don't time the sale. Don't wait for a sale. Book it now. Lock in the price. If there's a better sale tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you could always cancel and rebook the drink package and get the lower price. The mistake is waiting because the price could go up. Book it now. Lock in the price. Scott, can you book shows ahead of time on Navigator? Nope. Mallory, thank you for the super chat. The Niagara Falls or country ziplining in Puerto Plata. Leave next week on Explorer. I have not done either. We went to Puerto Plata over Thanksgiving on Celebrity Ascent or Apex, and we just hung out in the port area, and it was really nice. I'm not really one for hanging out in the port area a lot, but we didn't know what to do. Nothing really. We looked at the tours. Nothing really jumped out at us. We said it was the last port visit of the cruise. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna take it easy. The kids went to the Monkey Island thing, which is way overpriced, but they had a great time. My kid got pooped on. She came out laughing. And my wife and I had drinks, overpriced drinks, at the nearby bar, and then we went in the pool, and it was nice. And it was a fun day. So I don't have any recommendations, unfortunately. Getting back to your question here, Mallory, maybe someone in our chat can make a recommendation. If they don't, Mallory, make sure you post this question on our message boards in the Shore Excursion forum. I'm sure you'll get an answer over there. Ron Ladowski. I need to go on a group cruise. I've not done a tequila shot in months. How do you sleep at night, Ron? Hope you're well, my friend. Let's see here. Oh, Danielle wants to go back to her other question about check-in. It's midnight local time of the ship. So let's say, Danielle, you were going on Navigator of the Seas, which is in California, and you live on the East Coast of the US. That would be 3 a.m. Eastern time, midnight Pacific, if that makes sense. Jill, thank you for the super chat. 11 days till Allure, 121 till Ovation from Sydney. Question about Allure. I have a reservation for Mamma Mia. All other shows sold out. For the Aqua Theater example, is standby possible on board? Yes, absolutely. Just show up to the venue 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time. There will be a standby line, and you should be able to get in there. No question about it. Next question is from It's Time to Ride. Selling our ratings in 2 weeks. We have my Ratings of the Seas video coming out, I think, tomorrow or very soon. So keep an eye out for that one. Next question. Can you book show for Liberty? No, because again, you can only book shows for Oasis and Quantum Class ships. Next question from Mr. Tommy Casabona, the legend. Always be booked cruise and travel. Thank you, my friend. Did you see the video of Icon going under the Great Belt Bridge? Magnificent. Dude, it is an engineering marvel how they make these ships work and barely fit under certain bridges. It's incredible, dude. Listen, I'm not an engineer. I'm not even like that. That's not even my brain doesn't even operate in remotely in that sphere. But it's incredible that they can build a $1 billion cruise ship on paper, figure out how to make it fit under a bridge, and then hope and pray, I guess, that the math is going to work. But this is what math is all about, right? If you verify the numbers, it's going to happen. But yeah, that is incredible. Thank you for your generosity, as always, Tommy. Hope all is well with you. Mark Lou, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Matt, have you been to Baja Bay Water Park? I don't even know what that is. Also, do you recommend bringing a life jacket with you on a cruise? For example, being one. I don't mean to make fun, Mark. I have asked plenty of questions that I regretted later on, but I mean this in the nicest way possible, sir, because I am sure you're a wonderful person. You mean well. You came in here to ask a question. I'm not here to mock you, but it's just something that I don't usually get this question at all. You're the first one I think to ever ask me this. But no, you don't need to bring a life jacket. They provide them for you. It's good. Listen, Mark. People bring blankets and they bring pillows and they bring towels with them on a cruise. You don't need any of those things, by the way. But you don't need to bring a life jacket either. Totally provided for you by the cruise line. So no worries whatsoever. Craig wants to know, when does Royal Caribbean Fleet decorate for Christmas? It should be happening already. I suspect it's already there, Craig. It's usually right after Thanksgiving. And by virtue of the fact that we're in here now, December, I think there's a very high chance by the time you go on Symphony next week, it will be decorated. At least the tree will be up anyway. Let's see here. This is false information, Tony. Chadwick, thank you for the super chat. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Royal Caribbean Blog Club, and don't wait to book your next Royal Caribbean cruise with your favorite MEI travel agent. This man understands me. Thank you so much for your generosity and the very supportive words. You are amazing. Thank you. Wrong button there. We got some more super chats coming in here. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. You guys are amazing. Rastafari Ann, thank you for the super chat. What about themed cruises, Star Trek in February 24? Any themed cruise, like the Star Trek cruise or the 80s cruise or the Taylor Swift cruise, those are not put on by the cruise line. They're done by third parties. They're basically like, you know how I do a group cruise with MEI Travel? It's the exact same thing. These companies, third parties, work with the cruise line. I mean, they buy rooms, maybe they charter the sailing, but it's done through third parties. So Royal Caribbean doesn't post that information. It's all done by the third party there. And so essentially the answer to your question is like, when's the Star Trek 2024 group cruise? You've got to ask them about it. In terms of like, you're just asking in general, basically what I would say is there are themed cruises throughout the year. Sometimes they are full ship charters. A full ship charter is when the ship is rented out just for that group, so no one else can book it. Sometimes there are partial charters when in which maybe a quarter or half the ship is rented out by a group, but other people can still book the other half. Things like it depends on the group, obviously. Teresa Harrison, thank you for the super chat. 138 days till Anthem. I just realized I'm in the forwardmost cabin on deck 12 by Adventure Ocean. Is it really noisy? Is moving hard if available? If there's a room available, same category, you can. It's very easy. You just ask to move it, have your travel agent do it. I don't know about Adventure Ocean, but in general, I don't recommend cabins all the way forward. Being all the way forward, it has a propensity, especially at deck 12, to have more motion than a cabin set further back. Now, of course, if you're really close to Adventure Ocean, I mean, if your room is right against, like you share a common wall, there could be a noise bleed issue there. So I would say this: forget Adventure Ocean for a minute. If there is an opportunity to change your cabin, same category somewhere else, then yeah, I would probably say do that. Shane, thank you for the super chat. Also on Anthem in 6 days in a grand suite. Sweet Concierge emailed me saying I get Voom free for every guest. Does that include children in the room? Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yep. Everybody gets a one device package. Let's see here. Brian, I've been looking at Maya Chan several times, but the beach water is always brown. Yeah, it's unfortunately the flow in the ocean, the way that the water flow goes around, that has been an issue where some of the it's not seaweed, it's sargassum, I think is the name of the particular type of seaweed that's there. Anyway, it kind of goes and it inundates not only their beaches, but other beaches in the area. It's not just Maya Chan. I will say this, Brian. It doesn't matter. Ask anybody who has been to Maya Chan. Don't even take my word for it. Forget my word for a second. Ask Josh Carruthers. Ask anybody in the chat who's been there. Tony Diaz. They will tell you the water could be purple. It doesn't matter. It's that good of an experience over there. So, for what it's worth. I'm not putting words in their mouth, but I think they'll back me up on this. And if they're not, that's okay if they disagree with me. Chris, thank you for the super chat. First cruise will be on Allure, December 22. I like a firm mattress, and my wife likes it soft. Can we get half of a mattress topper? Maybe you can ask your stateroom attendant. Certainly, that's what I would do. In fact, worst case, ask for an extra blanket and put the blanket underneath the sheet. That's a poor man's mattress topper, but that will work as well. Hey, Taiwu, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. I'd like to know why some ships do not have a deck 13. I'm blind, and that threw me off last time I sailed to a Celebrity Beyond. Thank you. Superstition. Essentially, same reason some hotels don't have a deck 13 or a floor 13 rather. It's out of superstition. That's all. I did an article about this a couple months ago, but it really just boils down to superstition, and that's all it is. So, yeah, some ships like the Oasis class, it goes 12, 14, and I suspect Icon will be as well. But on other ships, there is a deck 13. It just depends on the class, quite frankly. Let's see here. Next question. Debbie's going on Explorer next week. I'm Diamond Plus. Do they have a special line yet for checking in? They do not. Next question. Hey, Kevin, welcome back. Great sailing on Mariner in March, waitlisted for early dining, or sailing on Mariner in March, waitlisted for early dining. What are your thoughts on chances for this clearing? Pretty good. This far out. When I've done it in the past, I've usually had pretty good luck. So, yeah, I think I would say you have a better than average chance of making it in there. Wow, more super chats. You guys are amazing. Holy smokes. Hobbs TV, thank you for the super chat. Forgot to mention Starlink internet and the new access points in the rooms were amazing on Anthem. Night and day from before, generally around 280. Dude, Starlink on Royal Caribbean has really it's finally gotten the promise of what we hoped for in the beginning. Even I think it's really been impressive. When I was on Ratings, Serenade, it was fantastic. They've done a really good job with it. Actually, when I was on Celebrity, their internet isn't nearly as fast as Royal Caribbean's, and they both use Starlink. It's kind of interesting there. But yeah, cheers to Royal Caribbean for getting it right, because that is fantastic. We love that. William Mom, thank you for the super chat. Late to the party, 67 days till Navigator of the Seas. Welcome. Rob Ladowski, thanks to the Paradise Beach discount code RC Blog. Yeah, we have a full disclosure. Paradise Beach is a partner of ours. I don't make any money on this. It's not like this is not an affiliate. They just were being nice and gave us a special code. But yeah, you get 10% off with that discount code. So that's awesome. Lucho, I've heard the food in the main dining room tastes the same as in the Windjammer. Is that true? No. They have different menus. Sometimes there are carryovers. Sometimes you have different food in both places. But food is always subjective, Lucho. I mean, you got to remember this. What one person loves, another person hates. It's that statement is way too generalized to be correct, if you ask me. Guardian Gamer, me and my 3 sisters are going on our first cruise on Harmony. Any tips or things you would recommend? Have dinner together every night and pick a good shore excursion together. That'd be what I would recommend for you guys. That way you have more time together, time apart, that kind of thing. Nick, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to the printer. I'm really happy you appreciate that. Sharon Stockman, Roll Tide. Thank you, Sharon, for the super chat. Doing the single digit dance, 6 days till back to back on Harmony. First time in Star Class. Sharon, it is an amazing experience. Hope you have a fantastic Star Class experience there. Matt Travis. Do you think Stars will have similar anticipation and hype as Icon? No. I mean, first ship in the class is always going to have way more hype, way more attention. That doesn't mean it's not going to have hype and attention. But will it be the same? No. I think it'll be a one peg less, because it's the second in the class. Still impressive, still exciting, but there's nothing like the first in the class. What is your favorite beach excursion in Cozumel? Honestly, Paradise Beach, full disclosure, Paradise Beach and I have a partnership going on there. I don't make any money off anything they do there. We just have a partnership. But truly, I mean, if you go back to videos, I talked about this last year, 3 years ago, I still said the exact same thing, Paradise Beach. Next question is from Mark. Our whole family is going on Freedom for New Year's. My question is, can I pay for my grandson's excursions if he's on another reservation number? Yes. Mark, when you go to book an excursion, there's an option, like you'll see your name, and then you have an option to add somebody else if you know the reservation number and their last name, and then you can do that. Next question. Yeah, Josh says, by the way, I do enjoy Maya Chan. There can be some water issues, but that's the same for most of the beaches that goes to Maya. The vibe is what makes it a great time. There you go. Thank you, Josh, for backing me up on that one. Tony says, I love Maya Chan. I'm going to book the Icon of the Seas inaugural. I don't like the roads going to Maya Chan. I'd like to book the Icon of the Seas group cruise too. I think I lost a kidney on those potholes. Agree with everything Tony Diaz said. Mallory, thank you for the super chat. Truly curious, if you're a planner and enjoy generating laminated itineraries for family members for trips, enjoy route checking for deals, enjoy calling Royal Caribbean, is a travel agent really necessary? Yes, because you can still do all of those. Wait, you can't really call it Royal Caribbean, but it's overrated. You can do other things. You can do the fun things, the laminated itineraries, planning excursions, doing like that. The thing, Mallory, is I get what you're saying. I get where you're going with this, but you only stand to benefit. Not to mention the fact you want to be chasing after your family to make sure they make payments, things like that. It's just you with a good agent. You only stand to benefit from doing that. That way, you get to focus on the really fun things, not calling Royal Caribbean to, reprice a cruise or something, make final payment, add gratuities. That's not exciting. That's not what makes planning a cruise fun. You can still have the fun planning stuff. Everything in the cruise planner is still yours. It's really just the lame stuff that's not yours anymore. Let Josh Carruthers from MEI Travel deal with the lame stuff. You deal with the fun stuff like planning your cruise and making sure that Tony Diaz books the Icon inaugural. Let's see here. Next question. Yeah, Mark. There's Starlink on every single Royal Caribbean ship now. Rochelle, can you explain what onboard credit is? Is it just spending money to use on board? Yes. So onboard credit. Here's the easiest way to think about it. Onboard credit is a credit against your onboard account. Right? That kind of sounds like the same thing. Let me explain that. So if you get on board the ship and you have $100 onboard credit, your account will be minus 100. It's kind of like you ever have a credit card and you get a refund from like a store, and you'll see on your store you charge $200 on your credit card, but then there's a refund from that return for $100, and then what do you owe? You owe $100 back to the credit card company, right? Same idea. You don't tell them, oh, I'd like to order a ginger ale, and by the way, can I use my onboard credit for it? It doesn't work that way. It's just a credit against your account. And so if you charge $1,000 on board the ship across your entire sailing, and you had $100 onboard credit beforehand, then you now have $900 that you owe Royal Caribbean. If that makes sense. You can also, Rochelle, if the onboard credit is from the cruise line and not from like a travel agent, you can also use it pre-cruise via the Cruise Planner website. So when you log into Royal Caribbean's website and you go to book a drink package, a shore excursion, you'll see it over there, and you can apply it instantly towards one of those purchases. Chris Stell. Chris, thank you for the super chat, my friend. 56 days till Independence of the Seas. I know you don't snorkel, but can you recommend any snorkeling in Nassau since it appears Blue Lagoon is out? Pearl Island is where I would go next if I were you. Pearl Island. You can book that through Royal Caribbean. Pearl Island. Jamie, we should do broadcasts on Mondays. Monday here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You know that one. For our top tier insiders, we do a special broadcast at 7:30 on Sundays. That's just for the top tier insiders. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. Good old Contra. That code, I swear 100 years from now, people will still be making that joke. I hope. Slew Dog, can we bring our PlayStation on board the room? There's two problems with bringing your PlayStation on board. One is, depending on which ship you're on, getting access to the HDMI port can be difficult or impossible, depends on the ship. Second, more importantly, not all ships have the ability to change inputs, so you might actually have to bring a universal remote. So between those two issues, that's why I don't recommend doing it. But you could bring it if you'd like to. Not to mention you got to plug it in somewhere. Next question is from Ainsley Hilton. Ainsley, thank you for the super chat. Making final payment tomorrow. Let the 90-day countdown begin. And it's usually for local eats in Curacao and Aruba. Oh boy, Curacao. I love walking downtown. So when you get off the ship, you can easily walk to the downtown area. It's like a 5-minute walk, super simple. I don't have any specific restaurants. Usually what we do, Ainsley, is we just meander around. If something looks interesting, we stop on by. In Aruba, I've not gone to any restaurants in Aruba. Every time we've ever been to Aruba, we go to a beach or we go to a resort and hang out there for the day, as opposed to like Curacao, where we'll go to the downtown and eat something over there. So I don't have any good personal recommendations. Sorry, I wish I did. Let's see here. Nicholas F. Nick, thanks for the super chat. Watching from Oasis, thanks for everything, Matt. You are very welcome. Thank you for your generosity. And I hope you're enjoying Oasis. I am jealous. 80s as we enjoy letting Carolyn from MEI handle our travel plans. I've known Carolyn for a long time, and yeah, it's just so much easier. So much easier. Marina says, same MEI is the best. Jen and me can do shots anytime. Well, that is true love right there. That is awesome. E-dubs, how does especially dining work out as a package as far as covering fees? For most restaurants, it covers the cover charge that's there. Restaurants that have that are a la carte, like Azumi Sushi or Playmakers, you get a stipend for, and then anything beyond that, you're on the hook for. Hibachi is probably the one where there are certain restaurants like Hibachi, Chef's Table, and soon to be the Empire Supper Club, where you have to pay a fee in order to dine at those restaurants. So you get a discount because you already bought the dining package, but you still owe money for those. So I hope that makes sense. Hey, Derek, thank you for the super chat. Derek says 32 days till 9 nights on Grandeur. Great Christmas gift for my girlfriend. Help me plan everything. All excursions are booked ahead of time and rebooked at the cheaper rates. Hey, that is awesome. Excuse me. Derek, that is awesome, awesome news. Fantastic. Love it. Dave says, I see you added something to the shelf behind you. Yeah, the bottle of champagne from Celebrity. They gave us that on Celebrity Ascent. I thought, well, I don't drink champagne. So I'm just waiting for my good friend Lance, or actually, it's not even Lance. It's for Abby, Lance's wife, to come over and pick it up. But I'll keep the tin. She can have the bottle of champagne because I'll never drink the champagne. But I figured it looked nicer over there than sitting in a closet somewhere. Pork chop and biscuit. Thank you for the super chat. Purchase 2-day beds at South Beach and Coco Key. Is a particular bed assigned before you get to the island or when you arrive at the beach? If you go to the shore excursion desk on board your ship, you can make a request for an assignment there. And since you have two, you probably want them together. So yeah, go to the shore excursion desk on board the ship and put your request in there. They can probably help you out. Next question. Jamie, why didn't Royal Caribbean bring out all the 7-day sailings at the same time? Would it make more sense having them all out for Black Friday? Maybe because those other ships that are missing aren't doing 7 days. Maybe they're doing 3 and 4s or 5s or sailing from a different region, like not Florida. There are other possibilities there besides that. You're assuming, I think, they're doing 7-nighters from Florida, and they're probably not. So that would be my guess as to why. Titan, what would you say is your favorite main dining dish? Dude, French onion soup. I can eat that every single day. I love it. AD, next week's solo cruise in Junior Suite, is that still 3 points per? Yes. If you're solo, you booked it solo in a Junior Suite, then yes, that would be the case. Matt, getting a printer stand or Tony Diaz booking Icon, which one is less likely? Me getting the printer stand because Tony Diaz is going to book the Icon inaugural. Lewis wants to know, how fast are the first times for the check-in gone? Usually they go, the first time slot will probably go by 7 a.m. or so the next day. Start opens at midnight. By 7, it's usually gone. But that next slot, like if the first one is 10:30, 11 o'clock is open for a day or so. So that makes sense. Michelle, if I already booked through Royal Caribbean, can a travel agent help at all Voyager in March? Unfortunately, if you booked it more than 30 days ago, probably not. You could ask still. Our friends at MEI Travel usually say it's 30 days, but if you want to give it a try, they can try to run up the flagpole and see if they can move it over to them. But there's no guarantee that that would be the case. Michael wants to know, do different classes of ships have different windjammers? Do any of them offer extreme carrots? I don't know what extreme carrots are, if that's a office reference right there. But they do have different layouts and different stations, if you will, depending on the class of ships, yes. Do we know what port Star of the Seas will sail from? Yes, Port Canaveral, Florida. And by the way, that's confirmed. Mr. Shadow, what's up, man? It's not confirmed. It's not rumored. It's confirmed. She'll be sailing from Port Canaveral. We just don't know exactly when the first date is going to be. Cruise Life for Life. Can you get the hibachi meal at Azumi if you don't sit at one of the cooked tables? No, you can't. The only exception is, I think in the sushi menu, there's an option on some of the restaurants that say like is a hibachi vegetables or something like that. But no, you can't. Which is too bad. Aaron Ross. Aaron, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Hi, Matt. Think you would sail Celebrity again? You mentioned a few months ago about trying a new Carnival or NCL ship to compare. Any possibility? Yes to all your questions. I think for Celebrity, I could definitely see us doing maybe a cruise blog group cruise on Celebrity. I would love to do that. So yes, I think there's a good chance. I don't have anything booked, but I would say there's a better than average chance that I'll be booking another Celebrity cruise. As for the Carnival NCL, I still want to do that. Where like I go like 1 week on like Carnival Jubilee, and then the next week on NCL Viva. Those are their newest ships, so I can just get that in and be like, all right, I tried both the newest ships from the biggest other cruise line competition. Here's what I thought, right? And Tony Diaz said he'll already go with me on those. I think that'd be kind of cool to do. The problem is like I we're talking now about like earliest I could do that would be like, late spring kind of thing, next fall. Maybe I'll just book it for like next fall and just be like, all right, kids are back in school. My wife doesn't miss me that much. We'll do it then. But I still would like to do that because I think it would be interesting to compare and contrast. Would you guys want to see me go on an NCL cruise or a Carnival cruise? Maybe nobody wants to see me do that, which is entirely possible. You'll save me the time right there. Any idea what time Starry the Seas will open to Crown Anchor members tomorrow on the 5th? No. It could be midnight. It could be 6 a.m. It could be 10 p.m. tonight. In past cases, past situations where new ships have come out and the bookings open up, we have seen it all. There has not been a consistent pattern to it. It's been all over the place. So I would probably say just keep checking back periodically, but it could be as early as midnight. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if at 10 o'clock Eastern, we started seeing some of the itineraries loading up in there. But it could be earlier, it could be later. All I know is tomorrow morning, thank your MEI travel agent, send them a cup of coffee because no doubt they're staying up late tonight. And by the way, if you haven't done this yet, contact your travel agent. This is another good reason. Let's go back to Mallory's question earlier. Travel agents stay up late and book the stuff for you so you can sleep in the meantime. But let your travel agent know what you're looking to book, and they can book it for you, tonight and get that locked in for you or whenever it opens up. Next question is from Bobby. Are small service animals permitted on the ship? I've never seen any type of pets, service or otherwise. Service animals, yes. Any other pets, no. The problem is some people like buy a service pet harness off of Amazon and they call it a service animal. But technically, the rule is only service animals, not emotional support animals, not your favorite dog. It's got to be a certified service animal, and those are allowed on board. The Teresa McChain, thank you for the super chat. Just heard Tony Diaz booked the Icon inaugural. Tony, my dude, that is fantastic news, Tony Diaz. Wow, you know what? I think, Teresa, we're going to do the Tony Diaz appreciation live stream on the Icon of the Season inaugural featuring Tony Diaz, in which Tony can win a novelty check that will give him for being such a great guy. I think that's really called for in this situation. Chantel wants me to also do an MSC cruise as well. Yikes. Ron, will you be trying the Empire Supper Club on Icon? Yes, I already booked it. Booked it for the inaugural. Myself, Jenna, and Angie are going to go check it out. Next question. Matt, you always provide a good lead into Monday Night Football. Thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. Fred says, no point to waste money going on NCL or Carnival. Been there, done that. Don't waste your money. Yep. Next question. Sherelle says, couldn't agree more. Using a travel agent is worth the price of admission. Take care of all the not so fun tasks like sitting on hold with the cruise line. I 180% agree with you on that for sure. Does Matt have any upcoming cruise out of Tampa? I don't. I just went on Radiance of the Seas a couple weeks ago, but I don't believe I have any. I usually book a cruise out of Tampa kind of last minute because usually there's like some sort of a deal in the fall or winter, and I just hop on one there. But I don't have anything booked currently. Cam just contacted MEI Travel to book Star Inaugural. We'll see you on board the ship, Cam. Appreciate it. All right, guys, before we get going here, who is booking the Star? Type me in chat, ME in chat, if you are going on the Star of the Seas inaugural sailing, or you're going to book it tonight. Type it in there. I'm booking it. Depending on the date, if it's in August, then I'll probably just book my wife and I. If it's in July, I'll book my whole family because I think the school calendar in Florida here, school restarts super duper early for no good reason, in my opinion. Anyway, but I told my travel agent, MEI Travel, I'm like, listen, if it's this one, if it's the two of us, I want this cabin. If it's the four of us, I want this cabin. And yeah. Jason wants to know my thoughts on Grandeur, I think. It's obviously doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but if you're okay with it, you're good to go. Jennifer from MEI Travel says, I'll be booking it, just not for me. For Tony Diaz. Okay, well, that makes sense. Will they test the sprinkler system on the inaugural? To be determined. To be determined. Roland, thank you for the super chat. We got a loft via Cruise Plum. Thoughts on why Royal Caribbean does not invest in a search engine instead of the arduous search on a Royal Caribbean website? The website's come a long way. If you think the website's bad now, you probably don't remember the old website. But to your point, could it be better? 100% absolutely. I actually know one of the folks who's on the website development team, and I suspect there is a reason for the way they do it. And I think it's far more intuitive than it's been before that. Like it's gotten so much better, Roland, than it used to be. But I also think the website is meant to be as functional as it while still retaining a fair amount of usability and not making it like too complex. And ultimately, this is what I would also tell you, Roland, is this is also a good recommendation. This is why I use a travel agent. Like I only ever look at the Royal Caribbean website to do mock bookings. I never go through the actual process of booking it on there because my travel agent can do it for me. That's what I love about that. So yeah. Ozone Games. Why can't I call Royal Caribbean directly about financial matters about my booking if I'm booked with a travel partner? Why they reprice my booking? Because your travel partner is the one who should be doing that. They're working on your behalf, so make them do that and get the answer for you. When is the cheapest time to go on a cruise? Generally speaking, well, number one, if you book it early, like if you can book it a year or two, that will help bring the price down. But certain times of the year generally tend to be cheaper than other times of the year. We call those times off season or shoulder season. In the Caribbean, that would be the month of January minus New Year's, September and October. In Alaska, it is May and June. In Europe, it's April, May, or September. So it kind of depends on the. It just depends on the region of the world. So, all right, Ron Ladowski says I got to go to bed, guys. I'm way over time, so I got to go. I'm sorry. I wanted to stay, but Ron says he's calling in the lefty. He's got to go to bed, guys. All right. Anyway, good luck to everybody booking Star of the Seas tonight, tomorrow, whenever it happens. Thank you to our amazing, amazing, amazing community today. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal with the super chats. I mean, really, I'm impressed. Thank you so much. Roland, Teresa, Aaron, Pork Chop, Derek, Nicholas F. Ainsley, Christelle, Mallory, Matt Travis, Sharon Stockman, Nick Gula, William Mom, Hobbs TV, Taiwu, Chris Moss, Shane, Teresa Harrison, Rastafari Ann, Chadwick, Mark, not Tony, sorry. Always Be Booked, Jill, Mallory, Hobbs TV again, Brandon Stelzel, Rastafari Ann again, Roy, Ann, Whipple, Shane, Justin, Miller Time, Ronnie, Lisa, Scary, Nick Ghoul again, Rai, DG, Brian, Shane, Chris, Brad, Chadwick again, Dave O, DNS, Josh Perry, Jason, Matthew, Miller Time again, Cletus, Tony Crawford, AD, Brian Kelly, Rolanda, Chris Bergloff again, and Deputy Get Some. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your generosity. We'll be back again next Monday, right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk again very soon, right here on YouTube. Good night, everyone.